Subscribe to The Best Revenge if you believe success doesn't always scream. Sometimes it grows quietly in the dirt, far from the noise. Like this video if you know what it feels like to be doubted, mocked, and still rise. My name is Carlos. I'm 26 years old, born and raised in rural America, and this is the story of how, after my world fell apart, I chose a place everyone else had given up on. And that place gave me everything back. Let me take you back 2 years ago. I was married. Not happily, but I was trying. I worked 10-hour shifts at a factory, took online business classes at night, and still came home in time to make dinner. Meanwhile, my wife Rachel spent most of her time scrolling Instagram, watching real estate shows, dreaming of a modern lifestyle. She called my dreams small, said I was too country, too simple. We argued a lot. Then one day she said 5 words I'll never forget. "You're not going anywhere, Carlos." A month later, I came home to divorce papers on the counter and her suitcase gone. No goodbye, no closure, just a text. I'm moving in with someone who actually owns a future. I lost my house, my car, even the dog. I had $7,200 to my name, a rusted truck, and a heart that felt like broken glass. Everyone thought I'd move back in with my parents. Even they quietly hoped I would. But instead, I drove 3 hours west and bought a farm. A rundown, overgrown, sinking in the back corner of a map kind of place. No electricity in the barn, roof leaking, weeds taller than me. The locals thought I was crazy. Even my own brother laughed when I told him, "Carlos, you couldn't keep a marriage alive. You think you can raise livestock?" But I didn't buy that farm to prove anything. I bought it because it was the only place where the silence didn't hurt, where the world didn't look at me like I was broken. The first night on the farm was colder than I expected. The wind howled through the broken window panes, and the old mattress in the farmhouse was so lumpy it felt like sleeping on rocks. I didn't care. For the first time in months, no one was yelling at me. No one was judging me. It was just me and the silence. Every morning I woke up at 5, fixed fences, cut weeds, learned how to install plumbing from YouTube, hauled buckets, ate canned beans, slept sore. Some nights I cried, others I stared at the ceiling and wondered if Rachel was right. Maybe I wasn't going anywhere. But something strange happened around month 3. The first crop I planted, tomatoes, started blooming. Little green bulbs poking through the earth. Fragile, but real. And it hit me. I'd built something, with my hands, with no one clapping, no one watching, just me. By month 6, I had chickens. By month 8, I started selling eggs and vegetables at the weekend farmer's market. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't fast, but it was mine. Then one Saturday, I saw her, Rachel, at the market, wearing designer sunglasses, holding a tiny fluffy dog. She froze when she saw me. I was in a dirt-stained shirt, boots, and a baseball cap, but my booth sold out. A line of people waiting for fresh produce. She came closer, forced a smile. "You look different," she said. I just nodded. "Farm life." She looked around. "You actually made this work?" Before I could answer, a customer interrupted. "Hey, Carls, you bringing more strawberry jam next week? My kids crushed it." I smiled and gave a thumbs up. When I turned back, Rachel was just standing there, not angry, not mocking, just quiet. She looked like someone who realized the bus left without her. "I might stop by sometime," she said, to see the farm. I looked her in the eyes and I said gently but firmly, "It's not open for tourists." Absolutely. Here's the next continuation of the story. Carls begins his journey on the broken-down farm alone, bruised by betrayal, but unknowingly sowing the seeds of the life no one saw coming. The first night on the farm was colder than I expected. The wind howled through the broken window panes, and the old mattress in the farmhouse was so lumpy it felt like sleeping on rocks. I didn't care. For the first time in months, no one was yelling at me. No one was judging me. It was just me and the silence. Every morning I woke up at 5, fixed fences, cut weeds, learned how to install plumbing from YouTube, hauled buckets, ate canned beans, slept sore. Some nights I cried. Others I stared at the ceiling and wondered if Rachel was right. Maybe I wasn't going anywhere. But something strange happened around month 3. The first crop I planted, tomatoes, started blooming. Little green bulbs poking through the earth. Fragile, but real, and it hit me. I'd built something, with my hands, with no one clapping, no one watching, just me. By month 6, I had chickens. By month 8, I started selling eggs and vegetables at the weekend farmer's market. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't fast, but it was mine. Then one Saturday, I saw her, Rachel, at the market, wearing designer sunglasses, holding a tiny, fluffy dog. She froze when she saw me. I was in a dirt-stained shirt, boots, and a baseball cap, but my booth sold out, a line of people waiting for fresh produce. She came closer, forced a smile. "You look different," she said. I just nodded. "Farm life?" She looked around. "You actually made this work?" Before I could answer, a customer interrupted. "Hey, Carls, you bringing more strawberry jam next week? My kids crushed it!" I smiled and gave a thumbs up. When I turned back, Rachel was just standing there, not angry, not mocking, just quiet. She looked like someone who realized the bus left without her. "I might stop by sometime," she said, "you know, to see the farm." I looked her in the eyes and I said gently but firmly, "It's not open for tourists." A year passed. The farm was thriving. We had bees now, 2 greenhouses. I started mentoring local kids who wanted to learn about sustainable farming. And the best part? I was no longer just surviving. I was growing. One crisp autumn morning, a black SUV rolled up the gravel drive. It was Rachel. She stepped out slowly, almost cautiously. "I heard you got featured in Modern Homestead Monthly," she said with a faint smile. "They called you the young farmer who made gold from dirt." I nodded. They were generous. She looked around. The flower beds, the windmill I'd rebuilt, the picnic tables from local lumber. "It's beautiful," she said quietly. "You built something real." I did. She hesitated. "I know I was wrong," she said, voice softer than I remembered. "About you, about all of this." I didn't say anything. "I lost the apartment," she continued. "The guy I left you for? Gone. Took the savings." I could feel the apology behind her words, and maybe years ago I would have felt the need to fix it, to offer her shelter, a second chance, but not anymore. Because this farm, this broken patch of land everyone once mocked, gave me back something bigger than money or status. It gave me myself. I looked her in the eyes. "I hope you find your place," I said gently. She nodded, tears at the edge of her lashes. "I hope so too." She left without asking to stay, and I went back to harvesting late tomatoes. That night I sat on the porch as the sun set over the fields I planted with pain and patience, and I thought, they laughed when I came here. They doubted me, left me, but I wasn't angry. Because the truth is, they gave up on me, but I never gave up on myself. And that was the sweetest revenge of all. It started with thunder, low, far away, the kind of rumble that doesn't just shake the air. It shakes your chest. I'd heard storms before, but this one felt different. By the time the wind came, I'd already secured the barn, moved the animals, covered the beds. But when the sky cracked open that night and the rain came sideways, pounding like fists on the roof, I knew. This one wasn't here to pass. It was here to take. The next morning, I walked outside barefoot into silence. The greenhouse was gone, shattered glass across the pasture, 2 coops flattened. The crops? Drowned. The farmhouse roof held, but barely. I dropped to my knees in the mud. Just like that, a year's worth of work vanished overnight. And the worst part, the insurance didn't cover most of it. Friends from the market sent messages. Some even showed up with tools and sandwiches. But my phone also started ringing with other voices, voices I hadn't heard in a while. Rachel, my brother, even my dad, who once told me the farm was a boy's fantasy. They all had the same tone. "Told you this would happen. It's not too late to move back. Just sell the land, start over." But I didn't reply. Not because I was angry, because I was focused. That week, I slept in the barn, rebuilt what I could during the day. At night, I'd fall asleep with bruised hands and aching legs, whispering to the empty rafters, "Not like this. Not now. I didn't come this far to fold." Then something unexpected happened. Caleb, one of the boys I mentored from the local school, showed up with his dad and 3 friends. "We heard what happened," he said. "We're here to work." I tried to pay them. They refused. They spent all Saturday hammering, digging, lifting. Marcy, the elderly woman who sells wildflowers at the market, showed up with cuttings from her garden. "I've started over 3 times in my life," she told me. "It's never the end. It's just the turning point." And slowly, painfully, I realized the farm didn't fall. It changed shape, and it showed me who was truly planted in my life and who was just passing through. About 2 weeks after the storm, the farm still looked raw, like a wound healing without stitches. The fields were muddy, the greenhouse was still just a frame, and yet something beautiful was happening. Every day, more people came. Some dropped off tools, others brought meals. A retired carpenter named Joe came by with scrap lumber and said, "Let me help you rebuild the coop. Chickens saved me once too." Even kids from town, ones who'd never stepped foot on a farm, came just to shovel, paint, or just listen to me talk about compost. One of them, a quiet girl named Harper, filmed part of the rebuilding with her phone. She posted it on TikTok. I didn't think much of it until I got a message request on Instagram from a producer at a small streaming company. He said, "We saw the clip. You're rebuilding something most people would have walked away from. Mind if we come film a segment? Could be great for our quiet comeback series." I almost declined. I didn't build this farm to go viral. I didn't survive divorce, humiliation, and a flood to become content. But then I remembered what it felt like to be lying in the mud, hands cut, alone in silence. And maybe someone else out there is right there now. So I agreed. They came with cameras, drones, clipboards, and for the first time, I told the full story. How I was laughed at, left behind, how I lost everything but refused to stay lost. The episode aired a month later, and everything changed. The episode aired on a Tuesday night. By Wednesday morning, my inbox had over 600 messages. People from all over the country, veterans, single parents, teenagers, even retirees, writing things like, "Your story gave me hope. I was about to give up, but then I saw how you rebuilt. Thank you for showing that it's okay to start from nothing." I cried reading some of them, because for the first time in my life, I wasn't just seen, I was understood. Then came the other kind of messages. The brand deals, the collaboration opportunities, people wanting to tour the farm, film on the land, turn it into a content hub. One guy offered me 6 figures to turn the barn into a reality TV set. I declined, because I didn't build this place to become entertainment. I built it to become whole. But then, of course, came the call I was half expecting and dreading. Rachel. She didn't even start with small talk. "I saw the video. You really turned it around." I didn't respond. She continued, "I was wondering if we could talk, just us." I paused, not out of anger, just calculation. A year ago, her voice would have cracked something inside me. Now, it barely stirred the dust. "I hope you're well," I said gently, "but I'm not the man who waits at the door anymore." She went quiet, then hung up. And that was it. No screaming, no guilt, just closure, without a key. A few weeks after the video went viral, I received a letter. Not an email, a real letter, in an envelope, sealed in gold foil. It was from a private investment group. They offered to buy my farm, the entire property. Their plan? Turn it into a luxury agritourism retreat, glamping, a wine bar, weekend events with influencers. The offer? $2.8 million. More money than I'd ever seen in my life. They said I could stay on as a figurehead, make appearances, smile for cameras. They even threw in a house in California and a car. I sat with that letter for days. I walked the fields with it in my pocket, read it sitting in the chicken coop, in the rain, on the porch swing. Everyone said I'd be crazy to turn it down. "You could live like a king," they said. "Start fresh. Leave the mud behind." But one morning, I saw Caleb, the boy from the town who helped me after the storm, standing in the garden with dirt on his hands and a tomato in his palm. He looked up at me and said, "You taught me things grow when people stop watching and just care." And that's when I knew. This place wasn't just a farm anymore. It was a lesson, a legacy, a rebirth. I didn't build it to sell. I built it to live again. So I mailed the letter back, unsigned. And on the back of the envelope, I wrote just one sentence. "Some things don't have a price. They have a purpose." Now, every Sunday, I host kids from the local school. We plant, harvest, laugh. I teach them how to work with their hands and trust their hearts. And every time someone new steps onto the land, they ask the same question: "What made you come here in the first place?" I always smile, because the truth is, I came here broken. And this land didn't just give me food, it gave me back my name. They laughed when I bought it. They begged to visit when I made it bloom, but I didn't grow this for them. I grew it for the man they never believed I could become. And that was the best revenge.